Welcome to Now Go Lead, the podcast where we help you level up your leadership in just 5 minutes. Each episode, we provide inspiring stories and actionable insights to help you lead with confidence and clarity. Whether you're a seasoned leader or just starting out, our goal is to give you the tools and motivation to level up your leadership game.
Hello and welcome back to Now Go Lead. So who dies along the journey? Death waits along the leadership journey, and your leadership style will dictate who dies. I realize that's a bit of a morbid statement, but give me some time to explain myself. When you're leading others, every action and reaction you make is creating a culture, one brick at a time. Your decisions and responses set the tone and precedent for future behavior. And this is especially true during the moments of the journey with the greatest consequences on the line. So in the wake of the greatest storms, how will your leadership respond? I think there are a few options. Option one is where I live and you die. A culture built on self-preservation means you say, I've given enough as a leader. I've had enough and you can just deal with it yourself. I'm done leading. These are often the thoughts that come to your mind when you've been through a difficult stage in the journey. For myself, I've spent much of my time focused on business development as I was running my own firm. Business development was a perfect blend of my gift and passion, and I got to spend time building meaningful relationships with new people and grow my business at the same time. It's perfect. Essentially, I would leverage these trust relationships into the opportunity to provide consulting services. That meant I was regularly trusting these relationships to my engineers and project managers who would be responsible for delivering the designs and taking care of the client. More times than I care to remember, the client I had developed would call and express their disappointment with the service they had received for one reason or another. Some of these customer complaints turned into teaching moments for my team. And there were other times I was so embarrassed that I truly wanted to throw my team under the bus and let them deal with the mess they created while I left the country for a few months. The pressure to lead's enormous, and despite your best efforts, your people are going to let you down, and circumstances will spiral out of your control and work against you. When all your best laid plans fail, not for the first time, but for the 100th time, the desire to give up is at its strongest. It's when you have to dig deep and remember why you chose to lead. Option two is where I die and you die. I call this angry leadership. But a culture built on angry leadership means you've decided to pull the pin on the grenade. You're saying, I've been treated poorly, and I want to burn this all to the ground. I think many times an angry leader has a low self-awareness of their rage tendencies. I remember the TV series Justified, where Raylan is having a conversation with his ex-wife. He said, I guess I just never thought of myself as an angry man. And her response came with a slight sneer of derision. She said, you do a good job of hiding it, and I suppose most folks don't see it, but honestly, you're the angriest man I've ever known. I would say during my time leading, I've experienced levels of anger that I didn't know I was capable of. You'll experience it too along your journey. And even the very best leaders have the potential to fly off the handle occasionally, but there are certainly consequences when we succumb to our baser instincts. Moses was arguably one of Israel's greatest leaders, yet his anger was always simmering below the surface. He once murdered a man. He once shattered the tablet of 10 Commandments God had given him. Even late in life, he let his anger boil over once again, and he disobeyed a direct commandment from God. It ultimately cost him the opportunity to obtain what he had pursued his entire life, which was a chance to live in the Promised Land. I think it's easy to sit back and judge Moses for his poor decisions, but I've seen and felt enough pain in my time to empathize with him in so many levels. As a leader, you have to be intimate with your own potential for rage. Anger is nothing more than a natural response to being hurt. The greater the hurt, the greater the potential to negatively respond to the situation. So let's take a look at option three, where I die and you live. A culture built on sacrificial leadership says, I die and you live. And none of this has been fair, but I'm willing to lay down my life so that others might live. This is where the true leader will make the ultimate sacrifice for others and the vision. This death does not often come at a single momentous occasion. Rather, it is a continuous sacrifice of rights and privileges along the journey. Every sacrifice is made so that others can succeed and become closer to realizing the vision. And I think everyone hopes for a leader who's willing to stand in the line of fire for the sake of others, a paragon who not just looks out for us, but who actually races towards danger and absorbs the punishment and consequences for the things we've done. In the movie The Sheep Detectives, Sebastian is a bit of a reluctant leader. He regularly spends time apart from the herd, overlooking the green pastures from his perch on the rocks. But during a pivotal moment of the movie, a couple of other sheep decide to trespass into the neighboring field. And they're discovered and chased by two German shepherds who are intent on killing them. And just as they are about to be overtaken, Sebastian emerges from the shadows and faces the predators head-on while the others escape. And the encounter cost him his life. It wasn't a problem he created, and he didn't deserve to die. But a true leader knows that sacrifice is part of what we sign up for when we lead others. Take 5 minutes and consider, what kind of culture of accountability am I creating? And maybe what past reactions do I need to revisit with my team to set new expectations? You might be wondering about a fourth option where we all get to live. Maybe there are times along the journey where that scenario can last for a time. But eventually, the culture you have built will dictate the rules for expectations and accountability. And that expectation will dictate how you respond as a leader and how others will handle the challenges they face along the journey as well. It's time to now go lead.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Now Go Lead. Join us next week as we cover a brand new leadership topic and help you level up your leadership in just 5 minutes. For more resources, tips, and inspiration, visit our website at nowgolead.com. You can also connect with us on Instagram at NowGoLead and on LinkedIn. We would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback helps us grow and reach more leaders like you. Also, don't forget to share this podcast with your colleagues and friends who are on their own leadership journey. Now Go Lead is produced by HP Engineering Studios in beautiful Northwest Arkansas. Now go lead.